Hey guys, this is David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast, brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today, I got a top-tier realtor coming to you from Frisco, Texas, Emmanuel Callejas. Did I say it right?
Hey, that's it. Hey, it's a pleasure to be here, my man.
Thanks, brother. Well, thanks for being on. Those of you that don't know, it's Friday, January the 10th. Me and Emmanuel are buried in snow and ice. It started coming down yesterday. The roads are fine, but I think it's going to clear up tomorrow. But I think everybody's been stuck in their house for the last 24, 48 hours. At least I have been. How about you?
Oh yeah, same man. I was hoping to get to know your studio, but I mean, this is the studio we got for now.
That's right.
Excellent.
That's right. Well, let's talk about your journey, brother. You've been in real estate now for about 4 years. What did you do before that?
But man, before that, I was in high school. I did a couple jobs here and there, but man, here we are. What can I say?
So your first job. So those of you that are listening to it, we got a top tier realtor out there that's 23 years old, 4 years in the business, and just killing it. So everybody's gonna ask, what's obviously I know every year you've been in the business, you've grown your business. 2024 is your best year yet. What's the secret, or what's your secret to success in real estate? Can
Man,
anybody do this?
I think anybody can do it, but you need a good mom too.
It helps, right?
Sometimes you need someone to support you, and I think one of those people has been my mom my whole entire career, so I can say my mom for sure. You need a good mom, and also, I mean, you need to be there. Like I have here, it's success and vision and mindset. I think mindset is the most important thing, and whenever you're doing anything, you're doing. So I think
That's awesome, brother. For being a young man, you sure are wise beyond your years, man. And great shout out to mom. Absolutely, she's not. We don't give enough kudos to our moms, but
yeah.
thank you for doing that. I need to give kudos to my mom.
Oh yeah.
So with that being said, so let's talk about the market. You're a first generation. You're Venezuelan. Were you born in Venezuela or?
I was born in Venezuela. I got here about 9 years ago, and here we are, my man.
Yeah. So everybody knows, if anybody knows anything about Venezuela, it's the economy is crazy down there. What made the entire family just pack up 9 years ago and say we gotta get out and move to?
We packed our bags and we were ready to go. It was just to the point that, man, you couldn't live there, or at least the people that were entrepreneurs and into entrepreneurship. And my mom was one of those people. And I mean, the economy pretty much kicked us hard, and we had to find our new ways. And here we are, my man, just trying to make a good name for ourselves and trying to do things right.
Yeah, well, let's just talk about that because I think people born in the United States. I don't want to say everybody has a silver spoon, but those of us that are immigrants that fled our country, because I'm a first generation immigrant. Also, I was born in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and I came here because of a war torn country. People don't understand to leave your country with just a suitcase. And arrive in America and you start. I mean, that's basically how we started. Tell me about your family. Is that basically how you got here?
Oh man, yes. So pretty much it was hard for us to move here. Of course, you're starting from scratch, especially my parents that had their own names in my country. They had their jobs, they had their businesses, and having to come here after they're like 30 years old and having to raise three, because I'm one of three brothers, and having to raise three other kids, it's hard. But I mean, it's my parents have always been a really, really, really good example for us of being very humble and trying to do things right. Is just what they taught us and what to do in life, and also religion. I'm a Christian man, and I think religion has been very important for me to try to do things right for the people.
Yeah, let's talk about that because that's not. I mean, you're doing great now. Obviously, God bless you in many ways and stuff like that. But it's hard to come to a country where you don't speak the language, right? You're coming here. You show up. Your parents show up with three kids. They were successful in their country, but now they're starting over here. What was it like? Where do you live? What's the first job? Did mom and dad both work as soon as they got here? What was that like?
Man, it was crazy. I remember that. I believe that was in 2016. We got
Yeah.
here. I started going to Carrollton, a high school in Carrollton. It's called Newman Smith High School. I went there. So pretty much my parents just would work. I remember my mom having a job at Walmart, making like $8 an hour, and my dad making like $9 an hour. And also my older brother, who's 20 years old, his name is Daniel. He'll work with them, and also he's part of why I'm here as well, because he used to work too to provide for us, even though he's like this tough guy. He tries to play the tough guy. Oh no, I don't care about anything. But he's also a really good part of how my family and my parents were able to go from scratch here in the United States, and it's just kudos to him and my mom and my dad.
Man, you know what? A lot of people don't talk about that, but that's just how you start. You're talking about a family that came here with nothing. Everybody works. Mom, dad, brother, sister, whoever can work has to work, because you're trying to help out the family grow, and flourish. And fast forward 9 years from now, look where you're at. So that's a great testament to where you're at today. No one, no, I mean it's dude, you're such a great guy. I can see. I want to meet your parents, dude. Because you definitely
Oh yeah.
I can see why you praise mom for everything you got. So let's fast forward. You get out. You join the real estate business. Why real estate out of all the industries out there? What made you choose real estate?
Woman in my country, I started with Century 21, which is a very big company over there, and Remax as well. And I would see this agents, because my mom would buy properties and she would use this realtors or sales agents. And I was like, I really like what they do. I really like looking at homes. I was like 10, 11 years old at that time. And I was like, I really like that. I mean, I want to get into that. And part of me deciding to go and pursue my career, it was based on what I saw at that point. And ever since I was a sophomore in high school, I knew I wanted to be a real estate agent or a broker at first, and then I decided to be a sales rep first, and then trying to go and elevate my career into being a broker.
That's awesome. I have to ask. So, your parents were buying real estate back in Venezuela. What did they do? Did they just cash out everything before they came here, and
No, we still
or do
my
you just leave it behind?
those properties just in case something happens, and we're just praying that we'll find a solution at some point in my country.
Yeah. So you still have all those properties and all that stuff. And okay, okay. How does that work? Do y'all hold a mortgage back there for all these properties? Do you still make payments, or do y'all own it outright? How does that work? I always like to know the demographics of different countries.
Well, in my country, it's very different to get a house or get a mortgage. You usually have to do 30% out of what you're gonna buy. Right now, most banks are not giving any loans with the situation that's going on. Pretty
Right.
much all the properties are being paid cash. But back then, let's just go back 15, 20 years ago. There used to be like a mortgage system and all that, but you would need to do 30% down. So it was really, really, really hard for someone to afford a house in my country. But now here in the US, it's way too easy to get a house. You only need 3.5%. And some programs do offer you to get into a house with as much as zero down. So that's just amazing.
And we have that program. Just so you know, we have a down payment assistance program that will pay up to 5% of the loan amount. So we'll get you 5% for the down payment. Most down payments you can go as low as 3 to 5%. You work with a great realtor like Emmanuel. He negotiated a little bit of closing costs, and you walk in with zero down. Which that's a lot. Let's talk about that. That's a lot of your business is first time home buyers, right?
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, are pretty much immigrants as well. I work a lot with people that have been here in the United States for a long time, but most of them is just immigrants trying to
yeah.
themselves here.
And how do you reach them? How do you find these immigrants that are looking to buy, or whatever?
Man,
How,
my goal has always been to be out there to pretty much just put my name out there. Me and my mom, we have always been really good at marketing, so we use a lot of our tools to just expose ourselves and show our true selves and just be ourselves. That's just how we've been able to grow, I think.
is mom
Yeah,
in?
it's great because if someone asks me what's the secret or what's the secret recipe, I'd be like, I'd be like, I don't know. That's just how it worked for me. But it's always been mindset. We would always been really, really, really focused on what to do, and that's just it.
Yeah. Is mom part of the business? Is she in real estate also?
She's a real estate agent, but not here, but in the Florida state. But she
Oh,
works with me.
she's in Florida.
Yeah, she does work with new construction. So,
Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay.
but my brother
Uh,
here is also a realtor here in the United States, so he helps me with a lot of my clients as well. He's the
who?
other one. I haven't mentioned him yet, but he's only 21 years old and he's killing it already. He's only
This
been
is your little brother. Who's this?
this my youngest brother. His name is Ronnie. So he's also a real estate agent. He's been in the business for like 7 months at this point, and but he used to be my assistant, but now he's just putting all those skills into work, and it's working for him. He's got
Are
like,
y'all part of the same brokerage?
yes, we're part of EXP. He works with me. We're working on getting our team out there, so that's just the next goal. Trying to grow
God,
our team.
the Callejas is going to be taking over Dallas, Frisco, United States area. I see it already. Y'all are going to be a powerhouse all the way from Texas to Florida. And just so you know, we can help mom also. I know she deals with new construction. Is she a new construction rep, or she just likes dealing with new construction?
She deals with new construction. So far, she's only working with investors from my country.
Yeah.
Just some of them are paying their properties cash,
Yeah.
but some of them do want to get a mortgage. But she actually turned into a real estate agent about 8 months ago. So it hasn't been too long for her, and it's hard in the beginning. It's hard to, put yourself out there. You don't know what you're doing, but my mom being able to see what my process was, she was able to pick up some of the stuff, and she's growing. She has her social media, working all those things. So it'll work at the end. You'll see.
Yeah. You're is that where you're getting a lot of your leads? Is social media, Emmanuel?
I do a lot of social media, and that's it. Social media, man.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was thinking of something, but it's just social media.
Well, it's just a different area. I tell people all the time that they've been talking about you got to make videos, you got to be relevant in social media. I don't know how much lead you get, but it's all about marketing, right?
Mm.
Marketing and lead generation. Your name has to be everywhere. I read an article the other day called omnipresence. Omnipresence means that you're everywhere. If you want to brand yourself, when they think of real estate, they need to think of Emmanuel
Saw a
Callejas.
video on TikTok last night of that. I'll show you. It's something about, it's one of the richest men in the world, and he's like, what's the secret? And he's like,
That's
omnipresent.
it. Was he from Dubai or
Yes, that's
and
him.
he that's the same. How is it that that's the same one I watched?
Yes. Is it this one?
Yes, that's the one I watched last night.
To do with the strategy.
That's
So
that's crazy.
is he omnipresent?
Yeah,
I reposted it because it's so true. You want to be everywhere, even though you're not everywhere.
Yeah. So when they think of real estate, they think of. So this is why we started this podcast. So I've been in this business a long time, and the market has been slow for the last couple of years, but it's coming back right now. And one of the things our marketing coaches says, hey, start a video, start a podcast. You know why you start a podcast? Is because there's not that many podcasts in the world. So by being on a podcast, you're getting your name and your brand out there, to everybody out there, so they just see who you are, what you're about, what you're doing. So it's just there's a lot of old time realtors and mortgage guys that are not videoing. They're not on social media. They're not on whatever. And that's a misstep. The reason why is the baby boomers is unfortunately a dying generation. They used to be the largest generation of consumer goods. They're no longer. Guess who is? Millennial and Gen Z. Millennial and Gen Z, and that's even older than you. Are the largest demographics out there. They make up, just so you know, 75 million millennials and Gen Z between the ages of 29 to 35 are of
Well,
prime age to buy real estate right now.
well,
75 million. Think about all those opportunities out there. If you're not on social media, if you're not on all these other stuff, how are you going to help them? All right.
exactly. And those are the graphics you need to look at. I didn't know that, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So let's talk about your first time home buyers. One thing I know about immigrants, because I deal with a lot of immigrants, and first thing you got to hold their hand. They don't know what they don't know. There's still a lot of people that think, oh, I got to save 20% to put down on a house. No, you don't. Oh,
Okay.
I can't afford the down payment. No, you don't. It's just when you're not when unless you're in the business like we are, they just don't know. How many times have you talked to someone and after getting qualified, they can move into a house as opposed to paying rent?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, so that's the case. Pretty much some of them don't know they can afford a mortgage, even though they're paying more for a rent. So that's one of the craziest things I've encountered in the past. That this was like 3 months ago. I had someone that was paying like $3,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment, and we moving from $3,000 to a 2,500 mortgage. So that's just unbelievable. People don't think that's real, but that's actually real.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Rent's getting more expensive, and especially in the areas that we live in. You're in Frisco, I'm in Frisco. It's the highest. It's the highest rental and and everything else. Even the cost of housing is more expensive here than most of the areas in the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Totally, totally. I agree with you, and it's just that it's because it's growing so fast. I mean, the north of Dallas North is just up here, so we have the Universal coming up. We got so many HEVs. I think they're gonna build the second largest Walmart in Texas here in Frisco. So it's just, man, I'm not ready for that. Are you ready?
I know. No, actually, you know what's funny is I've been in Frisco since 2005, and I have two kids, a 16 and a 14-year-old. And as soon as they graduate, I'm probably going to move out of Frisco just because it's grown so much.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of those people that's probably going to move north.
Oh,
You know, Salina, and so forth. That's what
maybe
everybody's moving to.
who knows?
Do what?
Maybe Sherman. It's
Yeah.
down.
What people don't understand is Sherman. There's that technology center that's about to be built out there.
Yep.
Four
Yep.
thousand, I think 4,000 people are about to move to that area
Well,
from out of town once that facility gets completely completed. So that's the next boom right there is Sherman for sure.
yeah, sure. Yeah, and I think the government even invested trillions of dollars into that project, so it's happening.
Yeah. So I'll share some stats with you. You know, we're just coming out of December. December was one of the better months in December in the last 4 or 5 years. More listings, more contracts under a fire. I'm talking to agents across the country, and they're busy right now. You know, usually in January you're a little bit slower. How's your market doing? How's your business doing for
Man,
January?
we're killing it. No, it's been hard to still keep bringing clients, but it's working, my man. It's just we keep doing it. I try to be like omnipresent. See, it's what I
Yeah.
try to do with my social media strategy, and it's really good to just be out there and trying to get as much clients as you can and take care of your clients. That's
Yeah.
some important keys because people think that it's just getting clients, but it's how are you actually taking care of the clients you have right now, and that's gonna help you build your portfolio and make those people refer you to other people that they know, and that's pretty much how it works. But business is just it's good. We got like I don't know 12, 13 houses under contract. So this
That's awesome, brother. So are you mostly a buy side agent as opposed to a listing agent?
yes.
Okay.
I actually have a couple properties as listings, but
Hmm.
so far it's just buyers, helping buyers.
Yeah. And you're not and you don't do any pay for leads with Zillow or anything like that, right? It's all organic.
Mm-mm,
That's
never.
awesome, brother. That's
Think
awesome.
I mean, if it works for you, it works, but
Right.
it has not worked for me. So I'm just working on my social media instead.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Don't. It's working for you. So let's talk about those first time home buyers. I a lot of people do different things. Are they mostly new builds? Are they or pre existing? Is it 50-50?
I would
How do you decide whenever you sit down with them which direction to send them? You know.
I would say 70-30. I would say 70% is for new construction and 30% is for houses that have been built in the past. But I think if you ask me that question, I would say it's just, what was the question again?
What percentage of first time home buyers are leaning towards new build as opposed to pre existing? And what's
Oh,
the
it's
reason why? What's their logic and stuff? I would know my logic. Why not go to a new build?
70.
You get a brand new house. They're giving massive incentives,
Okay.
you know, as opposed to a pre existing. You know, what's the
Yeah.
logic?
I would say 70-30. 70% is more for new builds and 30% is more towards houses that have been built before. And whenever I get with my clients, I try to ask them questions like that will give me like a perspective of what they want. And based on that, pretty much some of the people that go for new builds is because they don't want to have to worry about warranties. They don't want to have to worry about the interest rates, or they don't want to worry about closing costs, or opposed to when it's like a pre-owned, people will try to go for those because of the location. That's one of the most important things in real estate: location, location, location.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
because that's big. Because right now, if you're doing a new build, you tend to get a little bit farther out from where you
yeah,
want to be. You
exactly.
know, and so that's a lot of time location is because of pre-owned. That's why they're getting into it. So let's talk about about your family life. We know about mom, dad, first generation immigrant. Let's talk about your personal family life. Are you married? I know you have a daughter.
I have one coming up. It's due February 15th. I have my fiance. Her name is Alexa. She used to work with the biggest builder here in the United States, D.R. Horton, and her mom works for D.R. Horton too. So it's just a blessing to have him in my life. What can I say? I have one coming up. Her name is going to be Mia Bell. I have a picture of her over here.
Is
So
that your first? Is that gonna be your first baby? Look at that.
yes, that's my first baby. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. It's just a blessing, man. Even though she's not here yet, it's like she is. But
So
I don't know. Do you have any advice for me that as an upcoming dad?
enjoy it, man, because it goes fast. Because I tell people all the time, I have a 14 and a 16-year-old, and they're my world.
Yeah.
And when you have a newborn, it's there's gonna be a lot of sleepless nights, man. There's gonna be a lot, but I
That's
will say this.
crazy. Every time I ask somebody, "Hey, do you have any advice?" and their first advice is always just enjoy your sleep.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you
and
can't.
and be present. Your mom, she's gonna need a lot of help also, and she's going back to work right after she has the baby.
She is. Well,
Okay.
not no. She works with me. She's my transaction coordinator.
Oh, she's not working for DR Horton anymore.
Not anymore. She quit like 6 months ago, and she started working with me now. So it's
Well,
just
that
a.
helps. So now you have someone that stays home with a baby. Because
Oh
I'll be
yeah.
here's what you don't know. Guess what it costs to send that baby to daycare? $1,400 a month, and that's on the cheap side. I've heard it go up to $1,500 to $2,000. I mean, that's I think about that. That's a house payment.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the goals. I think it's not hard it is hard to grow a family, but I believe that if you're having children, you're supposed to be there for them. And part of like me deciding to going into this business, it was the fact that I can control my time and I can actually pretty much do as much as I want to do. And one of my goals was to have my own family and being able to be present with my kids. So some of the times I do work a lot out of the office, doing showings and doing listings and stuff like that. But I do spend a lot of time at my house. And my goal is to, whenever she's here, give her quality time, because sometimes people think that kids or their children need time, but what your kids actually need is quality time, time that they feel that you're spending time with them, that's going to help them grow in life and it's going to teach them lessons. And so that's pretty much what I'm going for. I'm trying to stay here at home. I do understand the parents that do need to go out there and work and have their children into a daycare, but that's not my goal. My goal is to be present for my kid all the time. And whenever they need me, it's like not calling 911. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Emmanuel, you are an old soul, brother. I don't believe you're 23 years old, because the wisdom that you spout out there comes from an old soul. That's You're gonna be a great dad, brother. I can't wait for you to
I'll
experience
send you
it.
pictures of my baby girl.
I can't wait. Uncle Dave's on his way to be there. But one thing I tell people all the time in real estate is they think it's we don't work that much, and we just make all this great money and stuff like that. What people don't understand is real estate's 24/7. It's never stops. It never stops. You never know whenever you negotiate a transaction or in the middle of a deal. You do control your time, because you can say, hey, I'm going to take off Tuesday afternoon for 2 hours, or I need to take off Saturday afternoon. But again, it's a 7 days I don't know any real estate agents that are or mortgage guys that are successful that doesn't is that their phone is not attached to their hip, because
Yep.
you never know when someone needs help, and you
Yep.
never know the difference between a deal or no deal just by taking that phone
Totally.
call.
Totally. And that's what's going to help you grow your business, is being there for your clients. If your clients think that it's a bother to call you at I don't know, 6 p.m. at night, you're not going to get any business, because clients look go out there to look for an agent because they want to be um with someone that's actually going to answer all their questions while they're doing this process, especially when it's their first home that they don't know anything. And it's good to have someone that you can rely on, that's going to try to look for your best interests. So that's just the goal all the time for me.
That's right. That's right. Well, brother, I don't want to keep you all day. I can sit here and talk to you all day. We definitely need to have another podcast and see what 2025 brings you, because I know you're going to have massive success. You've had massive
Yeah.
success every year since. What did we not talk about that we should talk about?
I don't know. I feel like we've covered everything, and I feel
We
like
have,
we've known each other for a long time now. You know everything
yeah.
about me.
Yeah, well, and that's what it's about. The people want to know who you are, Emmanuel, because if you're looking for real estate in the Frisco area, and you want to, and they want to find you, Emmanuel, and I know they do. How do they find you? What's a good contact information?
Hey, they can go to my Instagram. They can find me as Emmanuel, Emmanuel Callejas. My last name Callejas, Realtor, and I'll be there. You can
Okay,
see all my clients celebrating with champagne. So
that's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Well, and if you're listening to us live, you saw that go across the lower thirds. So if you definitely want to find Emmanuel, go to his Instagram page. Well, thanks for being us today. I'm David Wynn. I'm with the Mortgage Edge podcast. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.